Welcome to BookBuzz Reviews and Summaries. What if the chaos in your day could be calmed by something as simple as a list? Not just any list, but a laser-focused, results-driven, stress-reducing powerhouse of a to-do list that doesn't just track your tasks, it transforms your life. Let's face it, most of us are drowning in busyness. We wake up each morning with the best intentions, scribble down a few tasks, or worse, try to keep them all in our heads, and by nightfall, we're buried under a mountain of unfinished work, wondering where the day went. Sound familiar? Now, imagine waking up with clarity. Imagine knowing exactly what needs your attention, what truly matters, and executing your day with a sense of control and calm. No more scattered thoughts, no more overwhelming anxiety, just purposeful, productive momentum that builds success, one item at a time. This is not a dream, it's a method, and Damon Zahariades is about to hand you the blueprint. In to-do list formula, Zahariades doesn't just tell you to make lists, he redefines how to approach them entirely. He digs deep into the psychology of productivity, dismantling the myths that sabotage your progress, and replaces them with sharp, actionable strategies that fit real life. Whether you're a chronic procrastinator, a multitasking juggler, or someone whose energy burns out before lunch, this book is your game changer. It's not just about getting things done. It's about getting the right things done, with less stress, more focus, and a crystal clear sense of purpose. So, if you're tired of spinning your wheels, missing deadlines, and carrying the heavy burden of an overloaded brain, it's time to stop surviving your day and start owning it. Let's dive into the system that can restore your time, boost your confidence, and finally bring order to the chaos. Because once you master your to-do list, you master your day, and when you master your day, you master your life. Part 1. Why most to-do lists fail, and what you're getting wrong. Chapter 1. The Dirty Secret of Productivity. Zahariades opens with a punch. Busyness is not productivity. He explains that we live in a culture obsessed with being busy, where long to-do lists have become trophies of ambition. But here's the problem. A packed to-do list isn't a sign of productivity. It's a sign of poor planning. The key insight here is this. Doing more isn't the goal. Doing what matters is. A to-do list should be a tool for focus, not a trap for overwhelm. He reveals how our brains aren't designed to juggle 15+ tasks a day. When we overload, we create stress, decision fatigue, and mental clutter, and that's when to-do lists become the enemy rather than the ally. Chapter 2. The Psychology Behind List Fatigue. Ever notice how seeing an unfinished list makes you feel like a failure? Zahariades dives deep into the psychology of task completion, exploring how unfinished tasks create what psychologists call open loops. These loops weigh on the subconscious and increase anxiety. That unchecked box, it's a microstressor. In this chapter, he unpacks why many people give up on to-do lists entirely. It's not because they don't help, but because their lists don't work with their psychology. They overwhelm, not organize. They create guilt, not momentum. Pro tip from Zahariades. If you're constantly rewriting the same task day after day, your to-do list is broken. He encourages a mental shift. Your to-do list should serve you, not the other way around. Chapter 3. The Myth of Motivation. Here's where Zahariades throws another curveball. Motivation isn't the secret to getting things done. He explains how waiting to feel ready or inspired before starting tasks is a trap. Motivation is fleeting. What works instead? Systems, rituals, a framework that doesn't rely on how you feel that day. He outlines how traditional to-do lists often depend on emotion. We prioritize what feels urgent. We avoid tasks that feel hard. We put off things that feel boring. But Zahariades says if your list is driven by how you feel, it will fail every time. Feelings are unreliable. Systems are sustainable. That's why he begins planting the seed of what's coming, a formula that's emotion-proof, structured, and refreshingly simple. Chapter 4. What you really want from a to-do list. This is where things get practical. Zahariades challenges you to answer. What's the purpose of your to-do list? Most people don't know. They assume it's about remembering what to do. But Damon says it's deeper than that. A great to-do list should clarify your priorities, free your mental space, motivate you through clear wins, guide your energy and focus. He then exposes the 3 hidden mistakes most people make. 1. Lack of specificity, writing vague tasks like work on project. 2. Overloading, adding 20+ items without time awareness. 3. No hierarchy, treating trivial and critical tasks as equals. These aren't just technical mistakes. They're habitual missteps that train your brain to ignore your own to-do list. Zahariades warns, if your list isn't helping you move forward, it's just a stress list in disguise. Part 2. Building the engine, the STAR system for a smarter to-do list. Chapter 5. Introducing the STAR system. STAR is an acronym that represents a simple, structured approach to building daily to-do lists that are clear, actionable, and effective. It stands for S. Select meaningful tasks. T. Time activate each task. A. Assign priorities. R. Review your list daily. Let's walk through each part of this framework. S. Select meaningful tasks. Zahariades doesn't want your list bloated with every little thing from reply to Lisa's email to pick up almond milk. Instead, he insists, choose meaningful, outcome-driven tasks. Ask yourself, does this task move me closer to a key goal? Will completing this task make a measurable impact? Am I being specific enough? Instead of writing, work on presentation. Zahariades urges you to write. Draft 3 slides for Monday's presentation on client metrics. The clearer your task, the easier it is to start, the more relevant it is, the more momentum it generates. Time activate each task. Here's where most to-do lists crumble. They're divorced from time. Zahariades explains that every task takes up actual, physical minutes of your day, so why not account for that? He recommends estimating how long each task will take: 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 2 hours. Spreading tasks realistically across your available day. Avoiding overbooking, which leads to stress and spillover. This one insight changes everything. No more mystery meat lists that look nice but collapse by noon if your task list can't fit into your calendar. It doesn't fit into your life. He even recommends time blocking, where tasks are assigned to specific parts of the day. This brings a sense of flow and urgency to the work. Assign priorities. Not all tasks are created equal. In this chapter, Zahariades introduces task triage, the act of ruthlessly prioritizing what gets your energy first. He advises readers to label each task as a high priority, B, medium, or C, low. Always tackle A tasks first thing in the day. Resist the lure of quick wins if they aren't truly important. A major takeaway here is the 80-20 principle. 20% of tasks will generate 80% of your results. If you don't prioritize, you'll spend your energy on the 80% that barely move the needle. Zahariades' golden rule. Never do a C task when an A task is still undone. It's not just about getting things done. It's about getting the right things done. R. Review your list daily. You can't run a smart system without feedback. That's where the daily review comes in. Each evening or morning, Zahariades encourages a short reflection session. What did I complete today? What didn't I do, and why? What do I need to adjust for tomorrow? This practice helps you spot patterns of procrastination, overestimation of time, tasks that don't really matter anymore. It also makes your to-do list a living system, not a rigid demand. Life shifts, your list should too. The review is where your list learns from you. Chapter 6. The Role of Energy Management. In this bonus insight, Zahariades reveals something most productivity books miss. Not all hours of the day are equal. Your brain has high-performance windows, periods where you're sharp, creative, focused, and others where you're sluggish. He challenges you to identify your peak productivity windows, morning, mid-afternoon. Schedule your A tasks during those windows. Save shallow tasks, email, admin. For lower energy times, this shift in thinking, matching task type to energy level, is what separates professionals from scatterbrained to-do listers. Chapter 7. Creating a Daily Workflow Ritual. Zahariades gives you the glue that holds it all together. Rituals, he suggests. A morning ritual to review the day's plan. A midday check-in to adjust on the fly. An evening wind-down to review and prep tomorrow. He doesn't want your to-do list to just sit in a notebook. He wants it to become part of your daily rhythm, as automatic as brushing your teeth. A successful day is planned with intention, not stumbled into by accident. Part 3. Reality Check. How to stay on track when life gets mess. Chapter 8. The Myth of the Perfect Day. Zahariades starts this section with the truth. There's no such thing as a perfect day. There's only a day you've prepared for. The myth of the fully completed to-do list is dangerous. It leads to shame and burnout. Instead, Zahariades urges us to adopt a flexible mindset. He offers this reframe. Some tasks will fall off today, that's okay. What matters is that you handle the most important tasks first. And more importantly, you bounce back quickly from interruptions. The goal isn't perfection, it's resilience. Chapter 9. Building buffer zones into your day. Here, Zahariades introduces one of his most practical tips. The buffer zone. Too many to-do lists are overpacked. We assume we can move from one task to another like machines, but that's a fantasy, so he recommends. Leave 15 to 30-minute buffers between major tasks or meetings. Plan for only 60 to 70% of your available time, not 100%. Use buffer time to handle overflow, distractions, or needed breaks. This margin gives your brain time to recalibrate and your schedule time to breathe. It also makes you feel in control even when surprises happen, which they will. Chapter 10. Managing interruptions without losing your mind. Interruptions are inevitable, but they don't have to hijack your day. Zahariades explains that we fall into two traps. 1. We allow interruptions because we feel obligated. 2. We restart our entire mental engine after each one. He offers a strategy for both. First, create interruption windows. Batch things like checking email or returning messages into scheduled blocks. Let others know when you're not available via status updates, signs, or messages. Use techniques like the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes focused work plus 5-minute break, to create flow with built-in pause points. Second, learn the interruption recovery method. Write down where you left off before switching tasks. When returning, review your last note before resuming work. This minimizes restart friction and saves mental energy. Interruption isn't the enemy. Lack of recovery is. Chapter 11. The power of saying no. You'll never master your to-do list if you don't master the art of protecting your time. Zahariades dedicates an entire chapter to this essential but uncomfortable skill. Saying no. Why we struggle. Guilt, people-pleasing, fear of conflict, but here's his core message. Every yes is a silent no to something else, usually something important to you. He gives us powerful scripts to say no without sounding rude. I'd love to, but I'm focused on a deadline right now. Let me check my calendar and get back to you. This buys you time to decide. I'm flattered you asked, but I'm overcommit at the moment. You don't owe people your calendar. You owe yourself your priorities. Chapter 12. The secret to consistency. Make it a habit. Even the best system collapses if it's only used sporadically. This chapter is all about building lasting consistency. Zahariades lays out a few key habits. Review and prep your to-do list every evening. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each morning to confirm your plan. Use visual cues or reminders, sticky notes, phone alarms, to trigger your planning ritual. Keep your to-do list in one location only, a notebook, app, or dashboard, so you always know where to find it. He warns, don't wait for motivation. Rely on ritual instead. Your to-do list isn't a once-in-a-while strategy, it's your daily operating system. And remember, it's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things consistently. Mental reframe. From I must to I choose, Zahariades closes this section with a psychological shift that changes everything. Most of us see our to-do lists as burdens, a pile of shoulds and musts. That's why we resist them. Instead, he recommends reframing. Every task is a choice. You're not being forced. You're choosing to invest time in what matters. This mindset reduces resistance, restores control, and makes your to-do list a tool of empowerment, not obligation. Part 4. From task list to life plan. Leveraging your to-do list for long-term success. Chapter 13. Connecting your to-do list to your goals. Here's a trap many people fall into. They create lists, but they don't tie those lists to anything meaningful. It's easy to get caught up in productivity for productivity's sake, but Zahariades urges us to take a step back and ask, what are my top 3 to 5 long-term goals? Are my daily tasks aligned with those? What tasks am I repeating that have no connection to what I truly want? He recommends a weekly review where you compare your to-do list against your goals if a task doesn't contribute to growth, fulfillment, or a meaningful outcome. It's a candidate for elimination. This process builds intentionality into your daily actions. The best to-do lists aren't the longest, they're the most aligned. Chapter 14. Tools, apps, and systems that support you, not control you. Zahariades makes it clear. Tools are there to enhance your workflow, not become a new form of digital clutter. He breaks down the pros and cons of common systems. Paper planners, great for focus and simplicity, but harder to edit or sort. Digital apps like Todoist, Trello, or Evernote, good for tracking, syncing, and tagging tasks. Hybrid systems, using a physical notebook for daily focus and digital tools for long-term planning. But the key rule, choose one main tool, stick with it for 30 days minimum. Don't hop between apps when you feel overwhelmed. Use that moment as a signal to simplify. He also stresses using labels, deadlines, and categories, but not obsessively. Don't over-design your system. Build just enough structure to stay focused. Chapter 15. When you fall off the wagon, how to reboot fast. Even the best systems break. Life happens. You stop using your to-do list for a week, then a month, then suddenly, you're winging everything again. This chapter is about how to reset without guilt. Zahariades suggests a 3-step reboot. 1. Forgive yourself. You're human. Don't punish yourself for falling off. That's how people stay stuck. 2. Audit your current reality. What's causing resistance? Too many tasks. Unclear priorities. Tech overwhelm. 3. Rebuild simple. Go back to basics. 1. Page. 3 priorities. 1 review session per night. The restart process should feel light and empowering, not heavy, remember. Your to-do list is a tool, not a judge, not a prison. You're always in control. Chapter 16. Building a life around what truly matters. The book closes with a challenge, not a checklist. Zahariades invites us to stop seeing to-do lists as just productivity tools and start seeing them as life design templates. Here's what he asks. Are you filling your day with noise or meaning? Are your tasks aligned with your values? Are you living on autopilot or steering deliberately? He encourages us to cut ruthlessly, not just tasks, but habits, routines, and relationships that no longer fit who we want to become. A powerful to-do list isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. With intention, clarity, and courage, that's the real formula. Conclusion: a new way forward. So here we are, at the end of our journey through Damon Zahariades' to-do list formula, but really, this isn't the end at all. This is your beginning. Over the past 4 parts, you've discovered why most to-do lists fail and how to stop making the same mistakes. A clear system, the STAR method that brings order to chaos, smart, practical tools to adapt when life throws curveballs, and how to go beyond tasks to build a life of intention and meaning. But here's the big idea. Zahariades leaves us with, productivity isn't the goal, purpose is. Your to-do list isn't a burden to manage, it's a tool to design your day, and ultimately your destiny. So if you take only one thing from this entire series, let it be this. Be ruthless about what you allow on your list, be kind to yourself when you fall off track, be intentional about aligning your actions with what truly matters, because your time is your life, and every task is a vote for the person you're becoming. Start small, start simple, start now, and watch what happens when your list finally starts working for you, not against you. Read the book to learn more. Thanks for listening to Book Buzz reviews and summaries.